Here, we're going to foster DevOps. Okay. And DevOps has been growing as this term where it's developer experience, it's CI/CD, it's platform engineering now. And platform engineering is this brand new term that people are sort of lumping in with DevOps. While the two concepts are very different, they can revolve in this or live in the same developer. Just like a front-end developer can be a back-end developer too. You can be a DevOps engineer as well as an infrastructure engineer and a platform engineer. And this platform engineering has sort of evolved from DevOps because both of the roles focus on developer experience. And this developer experience is very important for organizations and companies to be able to produce effective software in a timely manner. And even better software. With great DevOps and great platform engineering, you can lead your team to develop more effectively and write better code with more integrations and more deployments, as well as using all of the code in an organization and using the team. Platform engineering is about bringing the team together and the software ecosystem together and allowing you to use that ecosystem to benefit whatever you're working on. Platform engineering comes from a concept that wants to increase the developer experience, much like DevOps. However, where DevOps helps you continuously update your application, right? That CI/CD mindset. Platform engineering is about how you feel with the coding, how you feel about making those changes, how you feel about starting a new project, how you feel about starting a new story per se. So let me describe a scenario for you where you would highly benefit from an organization having a platform engineering team host what people have been calling a developer portal. So you're a software developer and you're an expert. You've been a part of this same team for 15 years. Outside of your organization, things have changed. There's been development, but your team is agile and they're able to get those new developments, put them into your ecosystem, and adopt that software while creating your own software at the same time, working in tandem. You can communicate with whoever and you know who owns everything. It's not a large team. But you've been headhunted recently by a software development company that wants you to lead their team as a senior software engineer. You've been a junior or a part of this team for 15 years now, and you think it's time to start a new position. It's an exciting new project. Why wouldn't you want to go there? So you accept the job, you say goodbye to your team, and you get started. You have your onboarding process, right, which is more of a business thing. They give you your laptop, you have to set up your development experience on your own laptop where you install, some people like VS Code, I prefer JetBrains. But let's say it takes a week. But you get to this period where you're ready to develop. So during your sprint planning, you get a story assigned for this first sprint. And you're pumped. You want to start leading. So you start developing. Then you don't even know where to start with your code. You have to read through this code, and then once you find that area you need to develop in, you don't have any of the modules you're used to. You don't know what version of React they're using. You don't know what libraries are already installed in this application, and you don't know what APIs you can use to get the task done. You don't even know who wrote this code. You keep poking around, but nothing's the same that you had. You don't even know who to talk to about this code. But you are an expert at your craft. You finish this task and you write new modules to accomplish this task. You extend the API even further and you put in a lot of work to finish this ticket. And then at the end, you give a great demo. But then you talk about what you had to do for that demo. And you bring up that you wrote new services for your organization. Then someone says it's already been done. They say they've done it. You just needed to implement the same code from app A to app B. But how are you supposed to know? And who even owns app A? This needs to be documented, and it needs to be in a central area where you can find it very easily just through looking at what you need to do and some of the code that's already been written. And at this organization, they think it's just part of about this process of joining the team. It's like software hazing. It's a horrible practice. And there's been a solution now. Many organizations have seen this, and it's platform engineering. These platform engineers can create you a developer portal. And these developer portals will solve many of these organizational issues that I brought up, and more. It's very extensible, especially since the main goal of every software company is talent retention, and for that talent to deliver quick, amazing software. Developer portals will serve this ultimate goal to aim to create a better communication between developers. They'll reduce the code duplication and help developers understand the system they are developing. A developer portal will be the go-to place for developers to contribute to the ecosystem. These developer portals can be interchanged throughout the series with IDPs, or an internal developer portal. IDPs will organize all the information about the software ecosystem, grab the documents, the services, and the software components, and organize them in a catalog. IDPs can also track ownership. And so you won't have to scramble to find who wrote what, or find documentation and who owns the documentation, so you can ask that owner how to implement something. This is going to make the team much more effective, and you'll understand each software entity better and the software ecosystem better. IDPs can also help with the infrastructure to be deployed through the portal as well. Developers will then be able to instantly request the infrastructure they need and run their application, and the DevOps can help the developer use their architecture and make the architecture opinionated in their own way for the developer to use. Both teams will benefit from a developer portal or an IDP. What the IDP does is bring all of this information and code reusability and documentation, groups, all this software, the software ecosystem. It'll bring it all together. It doesn't solve the fact of you not writing good code, but it will solve the fact you'll be able to blame someone for all of this bad code. Or it'll let you talk to the person who wrote this amazing API, and you need their help to implement their API in your own service or your own front-end service. IDPs will help developers navigate their ecosystem, provide the organizational level of insight to tech health and maturity, and empower engineers with self-servicing. This will keep all of the developers happy and the team, and that means they'll produce better code and be more willing to stay on the team. In this series, I'll be diving into Backstage, an IDP framework. We'll see if Backstage is a good adoption for your software organization or project to use. Then, I'll go through an adoption of Backstage to an example organization, Foster DevOps. We'll show the extensibility of Backstage and some ways you can extend it yourself. it'll be a full bootstrap of the Backstage IDP framework. And it'll be done in a way to have short, separate videos to make sure the user gets what they want and they find the solution within that video. We'll run into some bugs and some snags, but I'm happy to implement Backstage into my own organization so that if a newcomer comes along, they'll know what to do. And I'll also make an easy self-service portal for myself to use to be more effective on my own. And that organization is Foster DevOps. So welcome, and let us foster DevOps.